To err is human. To really mess it up takes technology.
Okay, so let's go on from the technical into when did you actually discover that your son had Down syndrome?
Well, at the time I discovered it, I did not know he was a son.
Right.
It was during prenatal testing. When we had the triple screen, I believe, at the time. My alpha fetoprotein levels came back with an increased risk for Down syndrome.
Yeah.
For my age, it had been like 1 in 100. So yes, I was an older mother. But my AFP score came back that I had a 1 in 7 chance that my baby would have Down syndrome.
Yikes.
So my OBGYN talked to me, and we decided that yes, we wanted to do the amniocentesis. Yes, there are some chances and risks to the pregnancy there, but the most important thing is having knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah.
When you know what's going to happen, you can be forewarned, and that is forearmed.
Yeah. So you found out.
We found out.
Did you tell family and friends?
Yes. We told our parents, my dad and both my husband's parents, and they were all incredibly supportive.
Yay.
There was absolutely no, oh, well, what are you going to do with it? Or whatever. That was fantastic.
Good.
Told my then 8-year-old and 15-year-old stepchildren, their half sibling,
Yeah.
that we were going to have another baby. We had one already who was about a year old at the time, and he's chromosomally normal.
Right.
Yeah, he's a wonderful young man now. He does not have the issues his little brother has.
Right.
We told them that we were going to have another baby. We did not know whether it would be a boy or a girl at that point. Or no, we did find out when we got the results of the amnio back that it would be a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
And we were thrilled to death with that. And he was going to have some challenges because he was going to have something called Down syndrome, which meant he would be slower in learning, slower in developing. He might have a few other health problems. We did not get into those details with them. They were too young for that then.
Yeah.
And that we would love that baby. And some people have problems with extra work, but all it's going to take is a little extra love, and we were the right family.
Yeah.
I do know that when my stepdaughter went back to her mother, I found out a few weeks later from my stepdaughter that her mother had said, when she told him about the new little baby, oh, well, I'd get rid of it.
Oh, please.
It could not have any kind of quality of life. And there's my 8-year-old stepdaughter looking at me almost with tears in her eyes because she knew how wrong that was.
Good girl.
And after I lifted my chin up off the floor, looked at my friends who were in the room with us and my husband, and he's just, what can you say? I just looked at my stepdaughter and said, well, you know what? Then it is such a good thing that he is coming into our family because we know that he will be loved and he will have a fantastic life, won't he? And just the smile on her face that, yes, she was right. It is good. It's not something she has to be ashamed of. And actually, her mother has come around since.
Thank God.
So if nothing else, his existence has taught her that.
Good. It's a miracle. Blessing or burden?
Oh, blessing. He is my easiest child. And that's not only because he's got Down syndrome. He is Patrick first and foremost. And Patrick is a charmer, and he has wrapped people around his little fingers from day one. He has so many girlfriends. One of the things I did worry about with him at one point was he had lots of friends, but no best friend, no people who invite him over and this. And that's changing. He's been invited to birthday parties.
Wonderful.
Of course, parties with the whole family and stuff, but he is by all means, include him. He now has a best friend since he made it to middle school, a young man who has autism. And they both have the same quirky sense of humor.
Cute.
And Patrick understands that his friend has some limitations in, you can't touch him sometimes, all the time. He does not like the hugs like you do.
Right.
Sometimes you can't, touch his stuff. He has to get ready to share, and
And they become best friends.
They're best friends, and his friend has better speech patterns, and their strengths and weaknesses complement each other, and they love to be together, and it's just a joy to see them.
That's wonderful. So I'm going to ask you some hard questions.
Go ahead.
Because we are here to debunk myths. So first of all, a lot of people believe that folks with Down syndrome do not live long.
That used to be true.
Okay.
But it also used to be true that we as a people did not live that long.
Good point.
With increased medical care, especially early intervention, a lot of the problems can be taken care of. Over 50% of people born with Down syndrome do have congenital heart defects, and a lot of them end up needing surgery. We were blessed. Patrick has been extremely healthy, but others aren't.
Yeah.
And so that's one of it. If they have the increased medical care, and when the parents as advocates look around and find the doctors and nurses who do care and are informed on the issues pertaining to Down syndrome, those children have a very positive outlook for a long life. Maybe not quite as long as the normal human being now, but it's getting there. It really is. There are grandparent age Down syndrome people now.
Wonderful. All right, so let's see. These are some questions. I did some research online. I just found some questions that I found to be dumb. And I wanted to put them to you. And let's just give me the quick first thing off the top of your head. People with Down syndrome can't learn.
Bull.
Okay.
They used to believe that people with Down syndrome could never read or write. They were stupid. They needed to be put out. The court jester, the town fool, whatever. Patrick reads. He writes. He doesn't write that well. Neat writing, but
Okay.
He can do math. He acts and plays. He can function.
Good boy. Awesome. Smart kid. People with Down syndrome stay like children.
They may have a more positive, forgiving attitude in that they could be childlike, but they grow up. They grow up slower, but they do grow up.
Okay. People with Down syndrome can't have jobs.
Bull.
Okay.
Sometimes their jobs will need to be broken down into steps for them. It all depends on their level of development, just like anyone else. You do not want someone who's normally a cashier performing brain surgery.
Okay, perfect. All right. People with Down syndrome are always happy.
No.
All right.
They do tend to be happier overall because a lot of them don't hold grudges, but they're each one individual. Now, Patrick, I'm lucky most of the time he is happy. He's also the stereotypical stubborn with Down syndrome. So I got both ends.
Beautiful.
But
And here's the last one that might scare a mother. And I'm very curious. People with Down syndrome can't have relationships. I'm not talking about friends.
Oh, yes, I can. Now, while Patrick does have quote-unquote girlfriends, he does not have the interest there yet. That's something that, as he gets older, may change. There are people with Down syndrome who have married. I believe there's a couple in England who are like either 15 or 20 years into their marriage now. They have support from their families, support from each other, and there is absolutely no reason why they can't have a loving relationship. Yeah. I do think that the families need to be careful and make sure that they're not being taken advantage of, but I do that for my normal kids.
So how would you, just to go further into that, now I don't know if Patrick's had his first kiss or anything, but...
Not that he's told me.
How would you, say he did find a little girlfriend, or a girlfriend, not a little, at 15 now.
Yeah.
If he found a girlfriend, how would you ensure that, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
How would you ensure that they, could you leave them alone safely and
to some extent,
unmarried?
Yes. To some extent, yeah. once again, it gets down to the individual. When you know your child, you know how much you can trust them.
Yeah.
With my daughter, for instance, I can trust her with this, and this, but I do not leave a box of Fruit Pops in the freezer. I know she doesn't really do that, but
right.
There's some things that would just be a little bit too much temptation.
Yeah.
And you talk to them.
Yes.
They are intelligent. They are not stupid.
They're normal.
They are
kids.
normal. They do have urges.
Right.
But if you talk to them,
yeah,
inform them, let them know what's going on, they can have relationships. I do believe strongly, especially for people with special needs, chaperoning to begin with.
There you go.
Let them know what's right behavior, what's wrong behavior, how to respect each other. Yes.
Right.
They are far more like each other than unlike.
Beautiful. That's where we should end.
The R word is not retarded. That's an ugly word. It's disrespectful. Our word should be respect, which is what we owe everybody.
The R word is respect. Thank you so much, Lynn, for being with me today.
Well, thank you for coming.
We're going to debunk these myths. I'm Ann Robards, 1063 WORD.com News.